Hello, friends. I have a personal story to share. It's a simple one. Everyone's got their opinion and view based on research or preference as to what to eat, what not to eat. I don't preach anything to anyone anymore. I'll just tell you what happened to me. A few years ago, I adopted one of those ketogenic diets, keto, right? It's the new thing where you reduce a lot of carbs, meaning that fruit and vegetables you actually reduce, but definitely breads and pastas and some of the bad things you actually cut out, which is good. But it turns out it's yes, you can lose weight for those who start commenting that it was the best thing that ever happened to them. Moving from something really bad to something less bad can be a good thing. This is what I did. My cholesterol went up, shot through the roof. I'm otherwise healthy, have no obvious issues that I can tell or my doctor can tell, but my cholesterol went through the roof. I'm going to show you the results. Actually, before I show you the results, I'll tell you how it happened. So cholesterol goes up and up and up, kind of steadily every time I check it, every 6, 12 months. And my doctor says, hey, if you could just eat a little bit less fat. That was the only advice I got. I'm not going to tell you what I did yet, but this is what happened after 6 weeks of adopting this way of eating, right? I went to my doctor's and she said she was looking at the results. I knew the results were going to be positive. I just didn't know how positive they were going to be. So she says this. She looks at the results, the piece of paper like this, and she goes, she's looking at me, she's looking at the results, she's going, what did you do? So I've got a little smirk on my face. I know it's a good result. And she says, I said, well, I did this thing. And she says, well, this is amazing. This is extraordinary. Your cholesterol dropped from X to Y, and I'm going to show you. Anyway, she says, well, what can I say? Just continue doing what you're doing. That was it. And I continued doing what I'm doing, and it stayed down big time. And so I'm going to tell you how it happened. Well, now, actually, I'll show you the results first, right? So, clinical notes, high cholesterol. So, it wasn't always high. So, as you get older, your cholesterol goes up. Look, 2016, 5.3, pretty good. Not too bad. The good cholesterol was actually high. So, ratios were always good. 2017, it goes up 5.9 overall. Triglycerides very low. So, I'm still, happy and healthy. Look at this. It went up to 7, right? This is this is kind of alarming to most doctors, and they have to do something with their patients. Otherwise, it's their duty of care. If something was to happen to me tomorrow, it should be asked and said, well, why didn't you have a treatment for this patient of yours? Because this patient had a heart attack and or died, etc., etc. So I didn't really take it too seriously, and then the next time we measured only that, it dropped a little bit, but not so much. Not to the satisfaction of the doctor or myself, or it's still considered high. Okay, so 2017 in September, it's 6.3. That's where we're leaving it, or that's where we're picking up. Look, 6.3, and then I adopt this thing at the end of 2017, and then only a couple of 6 weeks later, my cholesterol's gone from 7.0 to 6.3 to 4.4. This is when my doctor, this was the doctor stare, what did you do? I then kind of relaxed it a little bit, actually a lot, and it stayed down. This was after my holiday, so I ate everything and anything, so it went back up, still within normal. And then eventually I said to myself, yeah, you got to stick with this, and even the holidays, etc. You just stick to this way of eating, and it dropped down to 4.0 from 7.0 peak to trough 4.0. How did I do it? As you can tell, I'm pretty proud of myself here because it's not easy. You got to stick to it, probably at least about 95%. I said it's not easy. It's not easy for most people. I didn't find it hard at all. Well, not necessarily the most and healthiest foods you can find, but this gives you an idea. This was out in buffet all you can eat, so you relax a little bit. Yeah, that's beans. There's a little bit of sour cream there. Um, yeah, that's my meal. Ideal, you would say this really sticks to what you need to stick to. That's hummus, that's some seaweed, that's what is it? The ginger, the whole grain mustard, the broccoli, the olives, and I think you know where I'm getting at here. This is all also, well, plant-based. Whole food, as whole as you can have it, plant-based. That's polenta. That's kind of an Italian or Southern European specialty. Not really specialty, but basic food, staple food. I'm kind of going backwards to the breakfast. This is what the breakfast normally looks like. And you think it's all very boring, but it's not. It's amazing how much you can eat. You eat potatoes, you eat salads, you eat seeds, you nuts and peas and chickpeas and beans and lentils, and you just go mad. You eat as much as you want, and you don't gain a gram of fat. You, in fact, lose weight while you're eating as much as you want. That's a pretty good deal, I think. I'm loving it. Number one source of information for me, and the whole transformation and realization that you really want to try and stay away from animal product as much as you can. Now, I'm not a greenie. If anything, it's probably going to turn off some people. I don't believe in man-made global warming. Yes, the climate changes and all that, and yes, we can do much better with the environment than we already are or have been in the past, but there's only so much we can do. There's cycles in place and all that sort of stuff, but you can help yourself. Everything starts with yourself. It's nutritionfacts.org. Dr. Michael Greger and his team, what they do is they all English language randomized controlled placebo studies, and they make short 5-6 minute videos on these findings. I tried to debunk it. I tried to, people love hearing good news about their bad habits. So I would have loved if he came out and said, you can eat meat, you can eat fish, you can drink as much milk, and definitely eat as much cheese as you want because you need protein. I'm not going to go into details. I'm sure there'll be all sorts of comments down there. I'm just sharing this. It started me on this journey that I just couldn't believe. Not the only channel, but the best channel if you believe in cold hard, and I hate to use the science word, but these are the clinical studies of people, two groups, one eating this, one eating that, and then they compare them and they get rid of all the variables that may have skewed the results and that sort of stuff. They're not done by Michael Greger or his team. They just go through them with fine tooth comb and bring up all the findings so we don't have to go through those studies. I certainly couldn't go and read through those studies. I wouldn't understand half of it, but the gist of it is in these videos. And I just couldn't debunk it. And I said, well, there's overwhelming evidence here that if I'm to help myself prolong the quality of life, I'm going to have to go this way or as close to this as possible. And it turns out so far I'm a living example that my cholesterol dropped from the peak of 7.0 to the trough of 4.0. It's about 4.4 now. So that's a happy medium that is I'll be happy to keep for as long as I can. The alternative is to take pills, statins, and lower it down to maybe that level and suffer all the side effects. I really don't want to do that. My blood pressure also dropped and few other improvements. Definitely. I mean, I was pretty good before that, so it's hard to say, well, I lost weight. I have lost weight. I didn't want to lose weight, so I can't afford to lose anymore. That's a very good problem to have. So I hope this has been helpful. It's probably gone a bit longer than I thought it would. Take it for what it is. I hope it helped you. If you want to share it with other people, do so. If not, discard it. Comment. I don't block any comments. Go for it. Share any other findings and thoughts, experiences, personal or other. I've been on this for 2.5 years now, and I couldn't debunk it. I've never been on a certain kind of program, whole food plant-based in this case, for this long without debunking it, realizing that it's not the best thing. I definitely get plenty of protein. I've got muscles. I run. I got energy. My vitamin B12 is levels are great. Before somebody starts commenting, there's no deficiencies. Touch wood. I'm not saying I'm never going to be sick or what have you. I keep monitoring, but I'm just saying it's worked. It's working. I wish you all the best. Stay in touch. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.